Hey, sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes. I wanted to do a quick video on updating the Texas Longhorns injury report, and I also wanted to do a quick preview of their game tomorrow against Mississippi State. So, of course, we all know that Quinn Ewers, quarterback one for the Texas Longhorns, is questionable for this game. Um, we're waiting to hear from Steve Sarkisian later on today to see if Quinn Ewers is going to be a go or not. So he said he would let us know today if Quinn Ewers is going to go or not. I'm really leaning towards Quinn Ewers not playing in this game and Arch Manning getting his second start. Um, Now that I think about it, it's probably is what's best for Quinn Ewers. I really do want to see him play in this game just so he can knock off the rust of not playing last week. But we have a bye next week, so that will allow him to get even healthier. Um, so I think, in my opinion, that he probably won't play this week, and Arch Manning will get his second start. And I'm quite sure that Arch will want to work on some of the things that he needs to work on because of the game he had last week. And I believe that young man will do just that and come out and perform well if he is the starter in this game tomorrow against Mississippi State. Also on our injury list, as you all know, C.J. Baxter is out. You also know that Christian Clark is out. Those two running backs were out for the whole season because of injuries that they had sustained during fall camp. Really, for Texas, they've had a lot of injuries at the running back position. Jaden Blue played last week, but he was held out against UTSA in that game because of an ankle sprain. But he did play last week. Also, last week, Jared Gibson sustained a slight injury as well, but he wasn't on the injury report, so I believe he's a go for tomorrow. And Trey Wisner is also questionable, but I believe he might get a chance to play tomorrow so that he can handle some of that workload, so that Jaden Blue does not have to carry the ball 25 times in this game against Mississippi State, even though Mississippi State's run defense is pretty weak. Another backup running back that's hurt as well, and he's out for this game, is Belton Gardner, the transfer from SMU, and also Colin Page is doubtful in this game. He's another backup running back. So all total, that's five running backs that is on the injury report. Colin, of course, sustained a head injury, so he's probably in concussion protocol. So he may not play in this game, which is cool because he'll have another week to rest because we have a bye week next week before we go and play in that Red River rivalry against the Oklahoma Sooners. Also on the injury report is wide receiver DeAndre Moore, and he is questionable. And I really do believe that DeAndre Moore will not play tomorrow as well, just like I believe Quinn Ewers won't play tomorrow. Also on the injury report is safety Jelani McDonald. I don't believe that Jelani McDonald is going to play tomorrow either. He's also questionable, and I believe Trey Wisner was upgraded to probable. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see Trey Wisner a couple of plays tomorrow. But then again, we may not. We might just decide to uh, use the packages that we got for Ryan Niblett, who was also moved from wide receiver to the running back room, actually playing both positions. So he'll probably get a couple of runs tomorrow. Him, Jared Gibson, and Jalen Blue will probably be the running backs that we have available tomorrow if Trey Wisner can't go, which I believe will be okay. because, like I said earlier, Mississippi State's run defense really is not good at all. Also, I'm wondering if we're going to do a lot of passing in this game, or we're going to do a lot of short passes, which is considered like runs, screens, and fake sweeps where we dump it to the wide receiver coming off the fake sweep out of the backfield. I'm wondering if we're going to run a lot of those plays because they're like an extension to the run game so that we don't have to give it to our running backs too much in this game because we definitely don't want to see um, Jalen Blue carry the ball 25 times again. We have been really, really fortunate um, on our offensive and our defensive line. We haven't sustained any injuries in any of those positions on the offensive line or the defensive line. We really have been very, very blessed that that has not happened. And hopefully, if any of those guys are dinged up, they'll have all next week to recuperate. It's really almost 2 weeks to get ready for the Oklahoma Sooners. So I'm really excited about that. I really do believe that Texas is going to probably manhandle Mississippi State. Mississippi State will be starting a freshman quarterback at the quarterback position, who is very athletic, by the way. But I really do believe that he's going to have a hard time doing anything against that Texas defense because those guys are fast, they're very physical, and they're going to make sure that they don't let their freshman quarterback decide what plays he's going to be able to be successful in because they're going to be showing him all kinds of different schemes and looks pre-snap and then changing those things right when the ball is going to be snapped. So he's going to have a lot on his mind. I'm quite sure they're going to heat him up quite a bit with Colin Simmons and those guys that come off that edge, Trey Moore. So I really do believe that Mississippi State is in for a rough, rough time. If you saw earlier in the season, they lost to Toledo pretty badly, and now they're playing against the number one team in the country, a Texas team that is really complete. Um, they got some things to work on, but for the most part, they're really complete. They lead the nation in defensive points scored. They're only giving up 6 points a game, and they're leading the country in that stat. And they're really, really good on third down efficiency defensively, and they're really good offensively on third down as well. And whenever you're playing a team like Texas, whenever they're close to the 50-yard line, for them it's automatic four down territory. So I think that and Mississippi State's third down defense is pretty bad. So they're in for a long night, especially if Quinn Ewers plays. They're really, really in for a long night because I know he wants to come out there in this game because he really does want to play in Texas's first SEC matchup against Mississippi State. But, sometimes coaches got to make those decisions, the decisions that are best for that offensive player or that defensive player. And in this instance, we're talking about Quinn Ewers, and his future is far more important than this game against Mississippi State because it's a game that we should be able to win, even if Trey Owens, the third string quarterback, was starting this game. So I think that we're going to run the ball very effectively because, like I said, Mississippi State's run defense isn't that good, and they're without their starting safety who leads their team in tackles. He's out as well. That might be a long night because we all know that Arch Manning loves to throw the deep ball, and we have some very, very fast receivers. So I can definitely see us throwing at least 5 deep balls in this game and helping Arch get better at that intermediate game as well, that mid-range game, hitting those guys, 15, 20, 30 yards down the field. So hopefully, we come out there, we play physical, we play hard. I know we're going to be excited. It's a 4 o'clock game against Mississippi State. I know that the Texas Longhorns are going to be excited about that first matchup in the SEC play. and they're going to be ready to get that game on and over with so that they can get ready and prepare for the Oklahoma Sooners because they got two back-to-back tough games, a rivalry game against the Oklahoma Sooners and the big matchup. Hopefully it's going to be a 1 versus 2 matchup when Texas plays Georgia. So hopefully Georgia can get past Alabama tomorrow and be ready for Texas when they play the week after the Oklahoma game. I think that'll be week 8, I believe. No, week 7. So 5, 6, yeah, week 7. So that's all I wanted to jump on and say, just to give you that injury report and what I think is going to happen in that Texas game, which is really not going to be a whole lot because Mississippi State, I believe, is totally outmatched against the number one ranked Texas Longhorns. So if you get a chance tomorrow morning after watching this video, please tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. as we're going to do our WTP Sports Dudes game day before college game day comes on at 9 o'clock on ESPN. So we want to get our show done before that. So if you get a chance, tune in, please, at 8 a.m. Put your questions in the chat, put your comments in the chat, and make sure that you share, like, and ask your friends and family members to subscribe to our channel. We truly appreciate your support. We thank you for all that you do. And at the end of all my Texas videos, I like to say, hook 'em.